Okay, hello. Hi, everybody. Sorry that we're a little late. My computer was like, let's install updates right now. And I always say do it later, so it needed to happen. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. We have a really lovely 30-minute movement break planned, focusing on both the upper back and neck, a little bit of dynamic movement, get your heart rate up a little bit. Maybe you'll break a light sweat. But there will be plenty of careful, quiet breathing, grounding, and centering. So my hope is that by the time we're through, you feel just a little calmer. I hope I feel a little calmer too. And also just a sense of relief through kind of the entire back of the spine. Props for class, 2 blocks, optional, but helpful, especially if you do experience some tightness in your low back. This can just help bring the earth a little closer to you so it's not such a strenuous stretch. And then also a yoga strap or a dog leash or a scarf or a pair of leggings that you're not currently wearing. We'll do some shoulder flossing as well. We are going to get started on our backs today with a cooling and calming breath. I don't know what it's called, but we're going to make a weird shape with our tongue. I'm just going to show you that real quick. If you can curl your tongue like that, we're going to be inhaling through a curled tongue and then exhaling out your mouth like with a soft tongue. So we're going to be mouth breathers together to get started. All right, 2 blocks, 1 strap, a curled tongue. All right, let's get started laying down in reclined bound angle pose. So you'll bring the bottoms of your feet to touch, let your knees fall open wide. Relax your spine down. If this is a little too much hip opening for this early in the day or this early in class, you can do 2 things. One would be moving your feet further away from your body to make this diamond shape bigger. Or you could put those blocks or whatever you have underneath the backs of your thighs, just adding some support. So let yourself really drop into this moment here. Maybe a couple big, deep, welcoming breaths feel really good for you. Breathing in through the nose, feeling the body expand with air. An open mouth exhales, noticing the body softening, just seeing what might like to release. Another like that. Breathe in through your nose, fill up. Breathe out your mouth, soften through your shoulders, your upper back. Take a couple more of these breaths on your own, letting the body start to relax, chill out. Maybe give your body a little scan from head to toe, just noticing what is asking to be released or softened. And let your elbows and your arms rest heavy down towards the ground. All right, now we'll engage the rolled tongue breath. So make that little shape. I'm really glad I showed you this because I do not know how to explain this. You're gonna just breathe in through the rolled tongue. And then exhale with your tongue just resting on the lower palate. Again, like that, breathe in through your curled tongue. And a slow, careful breath out the mouth. Keep this going on your own. If you're having trouble rolling your tongue, do not overthink it. You can just do this gentle mouth breathing. But notice the way the air feels cool on your tongue as it enters your body. And you notice how it might be a little more difficult to inhale this way through such a tiny space for air to be traveling. You might notice that that makes the exhale feel especially luxurious, as it's a little easier. Take 5 more rounds of this on your own, noticing the cool air slowly entering your body and circulating. And then feeling your body relax, open, soften as you exhale. Keep the breath going, couple more rounds. Notice if you're furrowing your brow or cleansing your jaw. Where can you soften more? Nice. When you finished your 5th last curly tongue breath, let's just take a couple regular deep breaths together here. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. 2 more like that. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last one, big breath in, fill all the way up to the top of your lungs. And a big breath out, forcing the air out through your mouth. Nice job. All right, release the blocks from underneath your legs if you have them there. Close your legs up like a book, hug your knees into your chest, give yourself a little hug. And this is a great place to start to check in with the low back. So just notice what it feels like to hug your legs up towards the chest. If it feels really tight, you can keep them a little further away. And if it feels okay, just gently rock side to side on your low back, just noticing sensations. This might feel like a stretch or like a little prickly, but it shouldn't hurt. So if you're in like that place of back pain, take it really, really easy today. Nice. Stamp your feet towards the ceiling. Find happy baby pose, grabbing for the backs of your legs or your shins. If whatever you've reached for caused you to lift up your shoulder to grab it, grab for something a little closer to your body. We're looking for a long spine completely compressed against the ground. So can you, as you stretch here, moving side to side, if it feels good, stretching out through both legs, you do you. But can you point your tailbone down towards the ground? And then trace the length of your spine all the way up, all the way to the crown of your head, really noticing the length of the spine. You can tuck your chin slightly to lengthen through your very upper spine, your cervical spine. Enjoy one more big breath in. And a breath out. Nice job. Release your legs down. Plant the bottoms of your feet on the earth, setting up for a couple rounds of bridge pose. Wiggle your heels closer to your glutes, knees point up high. And then with your palms down on the ground, anchoring you to the earth. As you breathe in, start to lift your hips up and pause here, keep breathing. Wiggle your shoulder blades together underneath you to boost up your heart. And then with your feet, spread your toes wide. Push your feet down into the ground to lift your hips. Can you use more hamstring strength than glute strength here? Nice. Draw awareness to your inner leg line, noticing any muscles, any sensations there. Now bring some awareness to your glutes. Can you firm them slightly, not clenching? Glutes like to overpower their very strong muscle group, but this can train the hamstrings, the quads, even the muscles of your upper back. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, gently lower down. Nice job. We'll do 2 more. Breathe in, bridge pose, lift your hips. We're here for a couple breaths. Let's refine the shape. Push your palms down. Keep your chest broad and proud. And then with your legs still engaged, can you draw more awareness to your hamstrings? Nice job. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. We got 1 more. Already starting to build a little heat. Breathe and lift your hips. Find bridge pose. And maybe here you're feeling a little more open. You want to walk your feet just slightly back towards your glutes to make a stronger angle in your spine, but maybe not. It doesn't matter. Here for 2 more breaths. Soften your face, energize through your legs. Breathe in. Breathe out, lower all the way down. All right, keep your block nearby. This is a stretch that I learned recently that is so simple and feels so nice. So you're gonna take your hands, legs are the same as they were in bridge, and you're just gonna push, like grab for kind of the tops of your thighs, like you're a cat making biscuits, and you wanna just push your legs away from you. I'm not sure exactly where in your spine you might feel this lengthening. For me, it's like right in the middle of my spine where I carry like a lot of tension. And if you have a really long torso or your knees it's painful to bend them this much, and you're having trouble reaching, you can grab your blocks. You can try fists first. Can you push your fists into your thighs? If that's still not working, try for the blocks. We're just looking for this, like the anchoring of the hips down, and then this gentle pushing away, lengthening the spine. Take a couple more breaths here. Keep your jaw soft, your throat soft. Nice job. Take 1 more breath in. And a breath out to release. Keep your blocks towards the front of your mat. You might like them again shortly. Gently roll over onto one side and take your time. Make your way to downward facing dog. Also, I think I apologized for this on Wednesday. I don't know if you were with us in class then. The seasons are changing and the light in my house is totally different. And so I'm working on a better lighting situation. On Wednesday night, I was like very, very dark and unseeable. And now I am illuminated in a sunbeam and like probably also unseeable. So I apologize and whatever. We're all doing our best. All right, you've probably been in downward dog for a couple breaths now. Maybe you started to pedal out through the legs. We're gonna take a couple extra stretches with the legs here, but first let's stabilize through the arms. So spread your fingers wide and rotate your hands outward slightly so that your index finger points straight forward. So hands are slightly rotated out. Grip at the mat with each of your finger pads like you're trying to palm a basketball. And then broaden your shoulder blades across your back. This is what really helps stabilize through the shoulders so you're not collapsed down like this. That might really hurt. Pushing the earth away, wrapping the shoulder blades across the back. Maybe think about rotating your armpits in towards your face and then relax your neck. Gaze straight back between your feet. All right, walk your feet up towards your hands just a tiny bit. And then bend generously into the, which leg? Cross one leg over the other leg. We're doing a little cross stretch. So one knee is going to be really bent. The other is more straight. Keep that stability through the arms and shoulders. Whichever leg is straight right now is the leg that's getting a special stretch all through the back of the leg and even up and into the hips. Take a couple more breaths here. Find either stillness or a gentle movement that feels good. Breathe in. And breathe out, uncross your legs. Find the opposite cross. So the other leg is going to be straight. And then just explore what it's like on this side. You might notice that one side is way tighter than the other. I am currently noticing that. That's completely normal. Our bodies are full of asymmetries. It's cool to notice them. Cool to be able to make different choices on different sides if you need to, but it's like not information you should be too worried about. So keep enjoying this stretch. Keep the arms strong. You're building strength and stability in the upper back here. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, uncross your legs, regular down dog, and start to walk your hands back towards your feet. Moving into ragdoll pose. So legs are wide, maybe as wide as the edges of the mat. Knees can be super bent. Just drape your torso over your legs. There are tons of variations for the arms here today. I invite you to cradle the back of your head and your arms so that you can apply a little weight to your skull, just gently tugging your head down towards the ground, finding that same slow and gentle lengthening of the spine, but this time using gravity to our benefit. You can still find a little movement side to side if it feels good. Keep the breath really full, even though it's harder with the belly pressing against the thighs like this. It's like fun training for the lungs. Breathe in. Breathe out. Release your hands down towards the ground. Wiggle your toes a little closer to touch, whatever is comfortable for you. Bring your hands to your hips. We're just going to slowly, carefully, safely rise up to stand. Nice job. All right. We're going to do a couple things standing, and then we will finish up on the floor today. So start with your legs about hip width distance apart. If it feels good to touch your toes together, go for it. But yoga teachers will always tell you that, and it's like, it doesn't matter. All right, spread your toes wide. Push your feet down into the ground. We're going to stabilize through the legs so we can experience some different movements with the spine. So toes are active, feet are pressing down. Tune into that inner arch of both feet lifting up slightly. This is that same palming a basketball feeling, but your feet have arches, so it's like easier to do with your feet. All right, stabilize through both legs, firming through the quads, the glutes. And then notice if you tend to stand with your spine curved like this, I call this Kardashian butt, use your core to draw your tailbone underneath you. Hug your belly button up and in slightly. This isn't like sucking in your stomach, but you are stabilized through the pelvis. Legs are still super strong. And now you can breathe in, reach your arms up high, and out of this stability, find length through both side bodies. While you're up here, just find like a huge stretch that feels good to you, whatever that looks like. Breathe in. As you breathe out, draw your palms to heart center. All right, keep the same stability with the legs. As you breathe in, find a little back bend. So for you, it might be really little, might just be lifting up your heart. But if it feels good, find these cactus arms. You can open up across the chest, across the shoulders. Keep your legs firm to support your low back. Take one more breath in. And as you breathe out, standing cat pose, bring your arms forward, palms face in front of you. Find this cat pose through your back, this big arch, pushing your heart out through your back rib cage. You can tuck your chin into your chest. This is a big stretch for the upper back. We're just going to find a tiny flow with that. So inhale, back bend, squeeze your glutes, lift your heart, whatever amount. Exhale, standing cat, palms come forward, launch your heart backwards. One more time, inhale, back bend, lift your heart, open up. Exhale, standing cat pose. All right, inhale, mountain, come to neutral, reach straight up. Exhale, bow forward, hinge generously at the knees, bend at the knees, release down. Inhale, lift halfway and pause for a moment. We're going to go into ball pose next. If that much flexion in your knees doesn't feel good, I encourage you to hold this for a couple more breaths. Push your palms into your thighs. You can find that same lengthening through the spine here. You can keep a slight bend in your knees if that feels good. Gaze straight down. If you're staying here, keep breathing, drawing your shoulder blades together behind you like you're holding a pencil. If you're moving on, inhale. Exhale, ball pose, squat and curl. Come up as high onto your toes as you can. And if you can't quite go into a full tiny ball, no worries. What if you used your blocks maybe on their highest height to kind of help bring the earth a little closer to you? You can still get this rounding through your spine. So tuck your chin into your chest. If you're still in halfway lift, I see you. Everybody breathe in. Breathe out, fold forward if you're in halfway lift. Lower your heels, inhale, mountain pose, come up. We're gonna flow through now. Exhale, palms to heart center. Nice job. Inhale, back bend, firm glutes, open heart. Exhale, standing cat pose, palms face forward. One more like that. Inhale, back bend, open up. Exhale, standing cat. Good. Inhale, mountain pose, lift to center. Exhale, forward fold, soften your knees. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, ball pose, squat and curl. We'll flow through one more time. Everybody breathe in and breathe out. Good. Lower your heels. Inhale, mountain pose, rise strong. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, back bend, lift your heart, push your hips forward. Exhale, standing cat pose, heart to the back of the room. Inhale, back bend, just one more. Exhale, standing cat. Inhale, mountain, reach high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, come to hands and knees and grab for your straps. So you can find hero's pose for this, or if that is not comfortable in your body, any other sitting position will do. For hero's pose, you're just sitting on your feet. Stretching the bottoms of your feet feels good. Broken toe pose is available to you. If any combination of these things almost works but is a little uncomfy, place your block on top of your heels and sit on it. I don't know physics, so I don't know why this works, but it does, and it won't be as intense on your knees. So finding your seated shape that feels good, grab for your strap. And if you come to this class often, you know that I love shoulder flossing. It's the best thing in the world. And so to do this, you place your hands really wide on the strap, pull it taut so that the tops of your shoulders are already engaged and stretching a little. And then as you breathe in, lift your arms to whatever your max is today. Notice I said today. Sometimes days are just inflexible days, and it's really okay. So you might want to take this further back behind you if that mobility is available to you. If it's not, just work with what's happening here, feeling the opening across your shoulders. Take the breath in. And as you breathe out, round through your back. Are you sensing a theme here? And then bring the strap down, pull it tight between your hands to stretch across the tops of your shoulders. I'm just a glowing ball of light. I hope you can see me. Let's find a little flow here. Inhale, lift the arms, push the chest forward. As you exhale, rounding through the back, arms come forward. Keep this going on your own. If the movement isn't feeling like what you need today, I invite you to maybe go a little slower and experiment with some movements in the neck. This can be a really excellent way to relieve tension through the neck and shoulders. And if you choose to do the flow, you're getting that really nice and juicy spinal extension and flexion, which is what we've been working on so far. So about 3 more breaths for you, whether you're freestyling around or just sticking with the OG shoulder flossing protocol, as it is not widely known. And when you finish up your last set that strap off to the side. We will not use it again. All right. Okay, I had some really great things planned today. So even though I started 3 minutes late, I'm going to end 3 minutes late. So if you have a meeting to go to, I understand. All right, meet me in Sphinx pose. So you're gonna lay all the way down onto your belly. Legs can be as wide as feels good. The wider they are, the more chill this might feel. Elbows come directly under shoulders, palms press down onto the ground. And you're going to be gently active through the arms, but relaxed through the hips, the low back, and the legs. This is what some people might call a really great low back release. And if you're not feeling it, it might just be because your low back is not that tight today, and that's a great thing. So to gently intensify this shape, spread your fingers wide, push all fingers down onto the earth to lift your heart. And then isometrically drag your elbows back towards your hips. You might feel a little stretch between your shoulder blades, little engagement across the chest, maybe even in the armpits. And keep breathing here. You can soften through the arms if that's just more active and you're looking for, but don't let yourself collapse down. Can you relax more through your hips, letting the low back soften? And for a little neck love here, I have in my notes gecko neck, which gecko. Yes, Gecko. That is something that my brain thought of at 6:30 this morning. And I think I just meant like gently looking side to side. But if you think about it, we sort of are like a little gecko, like peeking up out of its home right now. We're like, but don't move as fast and frantic as a gecko. This is like slow motion National Geographic gecko. So just, oh my God, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm truly out of my mind today. If you're just gently looking side to side, stretching through the sides of the neck. For a little more, you might like lift the chin too, adding in a stretch more towards underneath the chin, whatever. Open and close the jaw. Say, sorry that I clench you in frustration and stress all day, jaw. I love you. All right. Return to center. Gently press yourself back into child's pose. Toes touch, knees are as wide as you want. Forehead rests down on the ground, fingertips crawl forward. If this is comfortable to you, enjoy it, do your thing, breathe easy. If this is not working, instead of separating your legs, bring them to touch. And then you can bring your arms back towards your heels. This is called amoeba pose. You're still getting a lot of the same opening across the low back and the shoulders, but without the stress on the shoulders or the knees. So wherever you are, just breathe. Soften your face. All right, gently roll back forward, return to your belly. We'll do one more belly down exercise. I am calling cobra rolls. Again, there's probably a for real word for them and I don't know what it is. So take your legs wide on the mat, as wide as you want, and you're going to tense your fingertips on the ground like this and bring them a little wide, so a little bit off your mat. So press your toes down into the ground. For this one, you are activating through your hips, through your glutes as you lift. And you're also a little bit of weight in your fingertips. So as you breathe in, like you're a spool of thread unraveling, lift, and maybe even lift up to your chin, breathe in. And as you exhale, like a wave, come back down. Let's flow now. Inhale, unravel and lift. Maybe bring the chin. Exhale, lower down, neck comes last. Take 3 more of these on your own. Really enjoy these sensations of rolling like a wave, like a spool of thread. Maybe there's another visual that's working for you. Nice job. Finish up your last one. Beautiful job. Slide your palms underneath your shoulder blades. Gently press yourself up onto all fours. Yes, 3 more minutes. All right, we're going to be good. All right, this is a stretch called half splits, but don't freak out. If you have blocks, bring them a little closer to you on either side of your leg. And let's bring the right leg forward first. Yes, so your right leg is going to go forward and outstretched. Hips are directly over your left knee. So you're going to sit back a little bit, but you're not trying to sit back onto your heel. So this is a stretch for your low back and the hamstrings of your extended leg. Flex your right toes back towards your shin. Yes, there it is. And then from here, this is completely up to you. It might feel good to just like sit here and breathe, let this stretch unravel on its own. If you're someone who just can't sit still like me and you want some movement, like maybe wiggle your hips side to side, just exploring what the different shades of this stretch feel like. You can point and flex the toe, just noticing those subtle shifts in sensation. You have about 3 more breaths to play on this side. Releasing through the right hamstring, through the low back. Nice job. Gently bend into the front knee. We're going to return to tabletop. So do that in a way that is gentle on your body. And then find the same shape, this time with the left leg extended. Left leg goes out. So set yourself up here to be supported in the shape. Start with your hip over your right knee. Leg is extended. Leg does not need to be straight. Leg can be very, very bent. truly doesn't matter. This is about what feels good for you. So make adjustments to find that. And then if you want to intensify, you can sit the hips back slightly. You can move side to side. Maybe it feels nice to tuck the chin towards the chest. This is completely up to you. Several breaths here just to breathe, to explore. All right, gently bend into the front knee, return yourself to tabletop, into the front knee, return yourself to tabletop, and have a seat in your favorite seated position. We are officially at time, but I have one more thing I want to do. So if you have the time, I invite you to stay. If not, it's okay. I understand. So find your favorite seated position. I'm just gonna do a couple shoulder stretches. It's gonna feel really nice. All right, so I'm seated on a block to help lift my hips. Do whatever works for you. It doesn't really matter how the legs are. This is about the arm. So right arm comes over the left at the elbows. Weave your palms to touch. If this is just not happening, grab a big shoulder, big bear hug. Totally cool. Hug your belly button in and up. Grow tall and long through your spine. Good. Root down more through your hips. This is a big stretch for the tops of the shoulders. And you can stay right here for a little bit more intensity. Start to bring your hands away from your face. Tuck your chin very slightly. And just, I crave movements. Well, I'm not going to lecture you on the merits of sitting still because I am truly that person today. But something else you can do when you have a little more time is you can still do that same like flexion and extension through the spine, cat cow all day with all the variations. So that can feel super delicious. But for now, gently release that side and we'll take it on the other side. So left elbow goes on top of the right or the opposite of whatever you were just doing. Palms weave to touch or not, does not matter. Keep breathing here. Lift your elbows up so they're in line with your shoulders and then gently pull your fingertips away from your face. Stretching through the tops, the backs of the shoulders, the upper back. So it feels good. You can find a little movement with the neck. All right, and gently release that side. Remove the block from beneath you if you have something under your butt. We're gonna do 2 little stretches for the hips, which are very related to the low back. So if you have low back pain, consider that you might also have pretty tight hips that can be contributing to discomfort in that area. So what are we doing? Lean back, that's what it is. All right, so you're gonna like lean back on your hands, you're chilling. You're just like this. Feet are planted on the ground, knees up high. This is not like total slump town. This is still active. This is still like like holding yourself with some integrity. Might help to squeeze your shoulder blades together slightly to puff up through your chest. And now spread your feet further apart to the edges of your mat and just drop both knees over towards the left. This is internal rotation in the right thigh. So that discomfort you're feeling is your body being like, we never do this. We never do this with our legs. And this is a lot. So if it's too much, just come out of it a little. Could also bring a block to rest underneath the right knee if it's just like a little too intense. But trust that with time, with breath, this space can become like less screaming at you. All right, breathe in, knees to center. And breathe out, take your knees over towards the right. Woo, finding that same stretch in the left hip. Something I realized recently in doing more of this internal rotation in the hip is that when people are like hip opening, hip opening, hip opening, we mean external rotation of the hip. That's what you get in frog pose, or like anytime that you're like opening through your legs. So this is still a really important part of the hip socket that doesn't get a lot of love. So this is important attention that you're giving it right now. Let's just do one more on each side. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, drop to the left. Won't be here for quite as long on this side. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Good. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, drop your knees towards the right. Oh, especially if you're like a I sit all day working person, just a little bit of this midday can make a big difference for you and for me. All right, come back to center. Very last thing, little bit of figure four. This opens up through the outer hip, the medius. Bring your right ankle on top of your left knee. Sit it down. If this is too intense, bring your left foot further away from you to decrease the angle of intensity. If this feels good, chill here. Again, some movement side to side can feel really nice. Just mobilizing through a part of the hip joint we don't give a lot of attention to. Breathe, keep your chest tall and proud. All right, one more breath in here. And release. Let's find this on the other side. Right foot on the ground, left leg comes up and over. Decide how you'd like to set up on this side. But no matter what like degree of the shape you're in, keep your left toes flexed back towards your shin. This protects your knee, protects your ankle, and also really helps the stretch happen in the left hip. So stick with it, find maybe some movement side to side, just seeing what's here, noticing if this side feels tighter or tenser than the other side, but noticing that without any judgment, which is like so easy to say and so hard to do. So if you're like, Abby, what? I struggle with it too. All right, breathe in and breathe out. Uncross your legs. Just find a nice tall seat. We'll take 3 breaths to end together here. Inhale, sweep your arms up high. Maybe look up. Exhale, palms to heart center, grounding yourself. One more like that. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, draw it to your heart. Now it's the last one. Breathe in, reach up, look up. Breathe out, hands to heart center. All right, we are done now. This was a longer break. I don't know if you could tell, but like I really needed it. Maybe you needed it too. If this made you feel good, please share this with someone else. It's like my joy to be able to provide this to you completely free of cost. And I just want other people to get to know about it and enjoy it too. And along those lines, I am always open to feedback. Something isn't working for you. If I'm not giving enough options and there's like an injury you're recovering from, or just like the way that your body is shaped is not working with how I'm cueing, that's important information for me to have. So like, let me know. I want to get better at serving you with this practice. So until next time, I hope you take good care. Keep breathing. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye.